Well, hello everybody. It's so nice to see you today. Why do people do that? I can't see you. But I hope all is well with you today. I woke up today in a pork mood, if people do that. Today I'm gonna make one of these thick cut, 1.5 inch thick, beautiful pork chops because I'm in a mood. But pork, if you cook it too fast or too fry it or bake it or whatever, it's usually dry and ridiculous. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm going to cook this in my sous vide, and while that is cooking, I'm gonna make cheese and mushroom and pork stuffed jalapeno peppers. You know I likes me some spice. So the first thing we're gonna do is I got my sous vide going. I'm gonna put my this into the water. I'm going to cover it and walk away from it and let it cook for an hour. That's gonna cook, it's gonna start at 140 degrees and it'll cook for 1 hour. When it comes out, it won't look pretty, but we're gonna end up making it pretty, but it's gonna be cooked to a beautiful medium rare, which is just how I like it. And while that's happening, I'm gonna stuff some peppers. What are you gonna do today? Put those girls away. All right. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do to stuff these peppers is to, squeaky drawers. The first thing we're gonna do is to, Okay, now I'm going to seed all of these peppers, and when you slice and seed them, wear gloves, because those seeds and the center of this thing is hot as fuck, so you don't want that under your fingernails. It's gonna hurt, and God forbid you have a cut. So what's gonna go into these peppers is some delicious ground pork. Let's go. There we go. Cooked in my beautiful Meissen pans. I don't have much in there, just me. So I'm gonna cook that pork and I'm gonna drain that fat. And then to that, I'm gonna add cream cheese and diced mushrooms and Parmesan and Romano cheese. And I got some blue cheese, so that's going in too. And that's all gonna go in the pepper. So watch how we do that. So pork is a very lean meat. And if you fry it up and if you have any grease that comes off of it, drain it. You don't need it. But very little grease has come off this pork, so I'm just going to take my cooked pork and toss it in a bowl with cream cheese, softened cream cheese. How much, you say? I don't know. I'll keep that because I'm going to cook some mushrooms in there. Start mixing that together. So this is going to be pork, cream cheese, blue cheese, Parmesan, and Romano. Hardly cheesy enough. So while that is getting mixed together, I'm going to start cooking these mushrooms. I think I told you before, mushrooms are very, very good for you. You should be eating them every single day somehow. I'm going to use some of these for the stuffed jalapenos, and the rest of them are going to go into the sauce, the gravy for the cooked pork chop when it's done. My sous vide is going. It's got 53 more minutes to cook that pork chop. And then we'll finish that off, and then we'll have a beautiful meal. Stand by. Now, I didn't clean the frying pan between the pork and the mushrooms. And I didn't add any other oil or anything like that. Mushrooms throw off a lot of water when it's cooking. So I'll just cook this down for a little while. Then I'll show you what we do. But in the meantime, my washing machine just buzzed. I'll go get the laundry. I'm a big multitasker. Okay, I don't usually salt and pepper anything when I'm using this much cheese and stuff until I'm finished, because I don't know if it's gonna be too much. So now I'm gonna add some fresh grated, that's Romano cheese. This is shaved Parmesan, because I had it. And let's put in some blue cheese, because I love it. I see I should have bought more jalapenos. I didn't buy enough for all of this. So I'm gonna have some extra goop to do something with when I'm finished. Here's the mushrooms, nicely cooked. I'm gonna use some of those in here. I'm gonna reserve the rest because it's gonna go with my pork chop, which has another bit of time to go. So mix this all together. Once you do that, that's when you taste it. If it needs salt, if it needs pepper, if it needs anything else. that's the time to put it in. And then we're gonna stuff these suckers and put it in a 450-degree oven, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. This will all goo and melt together. It'll be delicious. Here's where we find out if I did it right. Holy crap. I did it right, it needs nothing. So to stuff, in theory, take a knife and fill up your pepper halves. Have it seeping a little bit over the top. Well, I've never made these before, but they look delicious. So stuff them up, fill them up, and get them in that oven. Stand by. Okay, 2, 4 to 10 stuffed jalapenos with that delicious cheesy mixture, which is so good. These are going into a 450-degree oven for, I'm guessing, 20 minutes or so. It's super hot so that it gets a nice little crust on top of it. So stand by for that. In the meantime, what are you doing for somebody else today? I, for one, feel a song coming on. I may have to sing a little something. And I'm going to be bringing stuffed jalapenos over to my sisters and nieces. And we all have to eat together. You know, we've all been in isolation for 7 or 8 weeks now. Everybody's, well, screw this. I'm being with family. That's all there is to it. So, what are you doing? Cook something. Eat something. Well, now, these just came out of the oven. Can you see that pretty thing? It's hot as hell. Oh my God, it smells so delicious. I'm going to arrange this pretty and show you again. But it cooked for about, I kind of forgot to time it, but if I had to guess, 30 minutes or so. They didn't collapse the way I thought they would collapse. So, yay me. And now I'm just waiting for my sous vide pork chop to be completed. That is cooking in the sous vide for 1 hour at 140 degrees. Sous vides are just absolutely brilliant machines. You cook it on your countertop and it's circulated. It's a water circulator. It's all it is. So this is going to cook us a very tender pork chop. It's going to be cooked to the exact temperature that I like it, which is a medium rare. And I'll show you how we finish it in about 5 minutes when that's done cooking. But in the meantime, I have the sous vide in a vacuum sealed bag with salt, pepper, and fresh rosemary. I'm on a fresh rosemary binge. Oh, and speaking of binges, have you yet seen Hollywood on Netflix? Oh, one of the best things you'll ever see. It's very naughty, it's very gay, it's very 1920s Hollywood, and it's based somewhat on truth. There's artistic license taken. Some of the best actors in the world in this 7-part series, which I highly recommend. And surprise of surprises, one of the best things in this is young Jim Parsons, who we all know from his lunacy on The Big Bang Theory. He plays, if this man doesn't get awards for his portrayal in Hollywood, something is seriously wrong with the world. I'm telling you that. He plays the most horrible, wonderful, sad, pathetic character. And he just absolutely moved me. It was awesome. So, hey, we should do that now. I'm watching a lot of Netflix. We'll give you my reviews. So, Hollywood on Netflix was a bit of genius. And I'm ready to watch it again. All right, so I've taken this much rosemary while we're waiting and diced it up nice and small, putting it into my remaining cooked mushrooms. And then when I finish off the pork chop, I'll show you what we do from there. You're gonna love it. It's really good. Okay, it's been an hour. This pork chop, in my opinion, is perfectly cooked. But here's now what you do with it. It's not going to be that pretty yet. So So we're gonna make it pretty. I'm taking off the plastic. I'm taking off the rosemary that was on there. Get rid of all of this. This all is going in the can. Now we have a perfectly cooked pork chop that's just not very pretty. I'm not even gonna cut into that, but I can tell. Oh my God, it's perfectly cooked. It's tender, it's juicy on the inside, but the outside looks like gray, stupid meat. So, oh crap, here we go again. My planning needs a little work. What you do with a nice piece of meat that's been cooked in your sous vide, you take it out of the plastic and you dry it off. We don't need any of that that's on there now. So now it's ready. Looks like a baby's butt. Now it's ready to be finished. That's what the term is, to finish. So in my beloved Meissen pan that I did not wash at all, it's still got the mushroom flavor in there, the sausage flavor in there. I'm not sausage, you know what I'm talking about. And I've got about 2 or 3 tablespoons of butter going in there. As soon as that gets super duper hot, I'm going to flash fry this sucker on all sides and get it the way it comes to you in a fine restaurant. This is what they're doing in restaurants now. When they open up again, this is the way they're gonna do it. So I have to watch this very carefully because I'm doing this in butter, and butter burns. Let's say you're having a party and you're gonna cook everything on your grill. You can pre-cook steaks, chops, sausage, all kinds of stuff in your sous vide, put it in your refrigerator, chicken, everything, and the next day when you have your party, slap these suckers on the grill. It's not gonna be raw on the inside and burnt on the outside. It's gonna be cooked to the exact temperature that you need it to be cooked to. What the hell is all this? Okay, slap it in. You hear the sizzle? Oh yeah. Leave it alone. It's gonna take just a couple of minutes on all sides to get it looking pretty. But yeah, that's another great thing about sous vides. You can cook your meat well in advance and then just finish it when your party's there and you'll be the hero. I was. Okay? Keep it moving, keep it watching it. And then flip it. Make sure you get plenty of butter under there. Look at that. This butter is hot and it's gonna pop, so be very careful. Do as I say, not as I do. Oy. That's pretty. All right, I'm working on the fat now. Now's when I throw in the rosemary and the cooked mushrooms. All this is going on a plate. Look at that. So beautiful, so tasty, so bubbly. Not a calorie to it. You know what? This is why I don't, this is why I don't do a lot of barbecuing. A, I suck at it, and 2, that was before I learned the sous vide method. So now, fellas, be the hero of your family and cook all your meat first, then dry it the fuck off and put it on your grill to finish it off. It will be cooked to perfection. Then lie to all your friends and say, well, that's just how I do things. That's what I would do. Still sizzling. You hear that? Here's a perfectly cooked pork chop. We're gonna ladle on those beautiful, gorgeous mushrooms and rosemary. You may want to salt and pepper. I didn't. There's a lot of salt in this butter. And to this, we're going to add the peppers. Oh my God, this is gonna be so good. Take a couple of peppers, put it on your plate. I think 3, that will be good. Fuck, that's hot. Sous vide, thick cupped pork chop with pork stuffed jalapeno peppers. Who's coming over? Nobody out there. It's 9:30 in the morning. I'm gonna eat this all right now. I'll be done eating all foods by, I'd say, 10:30, and then I won't eat any more today. This is how I'm able to keep my weight from gaining. Whatever I don't eat is going to my family. But I'm on that 8-hour thing where you can eat what you want for 8 hours a day and then you fast for the rest of the time. So by 10:30, I'll be done with this magnificent feast. I'll take any leftovers over to my sister's, and then I'll get out and walk my fat ass off in this beautiful day. It's gonna be about 61 degrees today. That's right in my wheelhouse. So go do something nice for somebody else, or if you're in the Bolingbrook area, knock on my door and hurry up and come and eat this with me before I do. Bon appetit, everybody. Be well. And there you go, folks. I don't mean to make you all crazy, but there's a 1.5-inch thick cooked pork chop in the sous vide and stuffed jalapeños with a cilantro lime dip. Oh my goodness. Bon appetit, y'all.